Hi, it's Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm, and this is my last Halloween project for the year, and I know I'm cutting it close, but it only takes a couple hours to make, so it shouldn't be a difficult one. And this is Witchy Legs Scarf. So if you picture two long pair of witch legs with some shoes at the end. So what you're going to need is your scarf loom. And that's why this is such a quick project, because this loom, you can really whip things out on this loom really fast. Now, the general rule for making scarves is up to, I think, 6 feet, maybe shorter, I'm not sure. But is your scarf should be as long as the person is tall. I'm not a fan of that general rule, so I don't normally do it. I think a scarf should just wrap around once and then hang like to the waist. I don't want it flopping all over the place to get caught in car doors and stepped on and muddy and all that mess. This one is more for looks and the season than it is for warmth, especially if you live down here in Texas. Although we have had a really weird cold spell and it was 41 yesterday. We don't get that till like January. So this particular scarf I'm doing for my daughter, and she is 4'11", but I used myself, and you can sort of use yourself to determine how long. And it's about 45 inches long. And when it comes off the loom, it's going to be about 6 inches wide, depending on what kind of yarn you use. I use both my yarns that I use have a weight of 4, and I use this one. I can't determine if this one is gray and black or purple and black. No one can really decide, and this is purple. So it's gray, black, and purple, or purple, black, and purple, depending on how you see it. But I wanted it to be Halloween colors, but not Halloween colors, if you know what I mean. Like not orange and green. I wanted to do the purple and black, the darker colors. The other rule is that it's 4 rows per inch that you're trying to knit. I knitted on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pegs on the standard scarf long peg loom that comes with the standard set that you get like in Walmart. I will provide the pattern that I made for my shoes I'll provide that so you can download whatever and print that off. I got this one that I'm using. And so you'll need felt, and you're going to need to cut 4 shoes for the front and back. We're going to sew those onto the bottom of the scarf. And you can do your shoes any color you want. They can be black, they can coordinate or contrast with your yarn, whatever you want. Okay, I'm not going to show you how to knit a scarf. I do have a video on all how to knit a scarf. So if you want to go check that video out, it'll actually teach you how to knit the scarf. This one I'm just going to assume you know how to knit a scarf and that you've knitted a scarf that is approximately 45 inches long. So I'm going to take this off the loom, and I was working from double strand on these from the inside and the outside of both of these cakes. So I wanted it to be real nice and sort of poofy and everything. Now, if you watch my videos, you know that I love this long upholstery needle. I bought it in the upholstery section of a hobby store about 25 years ago. So I can't tell you the brand or anything, but it's just a nice, long, sharp upholstery needle. I just find that this helps getting things off the loom a lot better than those plastic ones that come with the kits. I always break those. So let's take it off the loom just the same way you would normally take it off. I'm just going to go around and blanket stitch the end. Don't want to cinch it. I want to keep it as straight as possible. Okay, and if you don't know how to blanket stitch, I have a video on that. It's the same skill you use, embroidery, sewing, it's the same stitch. Alright, I'm going to, at the end, I'm just going to do a couple stitches to really make this secure here. Alright, so the next part is pretty easy. You're just going to use two shoes of felt, and I used wool felt, so I can technically wash it and it won't fall apart like just craft felt will. But it will get sort of felted, and it will shrink a little bit, but not much. So you just want to put your scarf down into the one shoe. Okay, so you've cut your 4 shoes. You have those ready. You're going to need some black embroidery floss and a embroidery needle. And what we're going to do is, after I've put about, say about 4 or 5 inches of the end of the scarf inside the shoe. See it in there? And we're going to go around and we're going to blanket stitch the entire shoe together and through the end, so it's on the end of the scarf. And I think I'm going to start. If you don't know how to blanket stitch, let me show you real quick. So you want to bring your thread up, the floss up through the felt, and you want to go next to it a little bit, like 1/8 of an inch apart, and you're going to make this loop. Make a loop with your floss, and you're going to go down, and you're going to bring your thread and your needle up through the loop, so it looks like this. If you can see it there. So you're bringing it up through the center of that loop. And just push that scarf when you get, if it's a little bit over the edge there, just push it inside the shoe. I'm using 3 strands of floss. When I get up here to the top of the scarf, I want to go in and out. We're going to have to come back and do the blanket stitching. So I just want to connect this to the scarf underneath. And if you wanted to, you could do this step first, but I'm just doing it now. I'm just doing in and out across the scarf. Stop. I'm not going to go all the way across because I don't want the stitches across here. Then I'm just going to do my blanket stitching, finish up this side here, and then we're going to go, we'll have to do each top on both sides separately. Okay, up here at the top we're just going to have to treat each side separately. But while I'm doing it, I'm going to go in, I'm going to snag some yarn of the scarf underneath just to help, and then go on in, and it just as I do my stitches, so it sort of just makes it a little bit more secure. So I'm just going to go in here and pick up some stitches of the yarn underneath the shoe. We did the straight stitching across just sort of to hold it in there, but this will make it a little bit more secure too. So I'm just going to be doing blanket stitch across the front, and by picking up the stitches underneath, it'll let it lay flat. It won't be like a flap. The other side, we're going to do the same thing. Put your and I decided to make my feet turn in so the toes are both facing each other. You could do yours however you want, but that's how I. Okay, I have both of the feet done on the fronts and the backs. So the last thing I want to do, and this is an optional thing, and you can even make this out of felt if you wanted to, but I have these little, if you watch the Witchy, Loom Knit the Witchy Witch, they were just like suspender clips, and they were from like the late 60s. I just got them when I buy big things of vintage sewing supplies. They were just in there on here, so I thought it would be cute. I'm just going to do it through the top on one side though. And I got both my little buckles on there. There's the scarf, and you can do your feet going that way or both ways or whatever. And you could put embellishments on both sides if you wanted to, but I had 3 buckles, so I was only going to use 2 of them. So it turned out really cute, I think. So this has been the Witchy Legs and Shoes scarf video, and I will leave the pattern for you to print out in the description box below. And I hope y'all all have a happy Halloween. Bye!